I love those plants. Look at them. They're like an artwork in itself. I actually dyed with lichen when I was a kid in school, and I had a book with samples of wool we dyed and different lichens, and had to make notes from school. I went to my mother's house to look for it in the attic and in the basement, but I couldn't find it. I think I threw it away sometime because I thought I never use this ever again. Now I would love to have it. Back to the actual thing, the lichen. I have all the lichen here, and I thought I mainly want to dye it with my mulberry silk. I literally still have about 3 kilos of this. I can't keep it all white. I want different colors, so I will just dye till it's finished. Not all with lichen. I have a lot of other things in mind I want to dye with, but I will, a portion of those 3 kilos I will dye with the lichen. Then I have this blue-faced Leicester. It's not a lot, but I will dye it with the lichen too. I have some corn fiber, which feels very weird. I don't think I will use it all for the lichen, but some of it. Listen to this. Listen to how that sounds. Feels like a weird plastic sponge or something. We'll use some of that with the lichen too, just to see how the colors turn out different on different fiber. Corn fiber you can mix with silk and cotton and wool, I think, to make it more resistant or something. I have to look up with what to mix it and for what. I don't have much undyed fiber. But silk is fine to dye with, you know, so I think I just leave it at that. Here are my 3 bags of lichen. Smells like forest floor. On the way to the forest to collect the lichen, I had to walk through my favorite town in the mountains, Pontresina. I just love those old buildings with the very thick walls that protect from cold weather and keep also the heat out. Those are the curtains I talked about in one of my shorts. I love the ornaments around the windows and on the corners of the buildings. It's carved into the finishing of the house, all those ornaments. Isn't that cool? As I was walking through the town, I saw this new store there, an art store, art gallery, workshop, atelier kind of thing. And I thought it looked really interesting. And I went inside and met the lady that owns it and that does all the artwork in there. And I started talking to her about her background and about my background. I studied art and music originally. And I really liked what she's doing. Look at this sheep. So pretty. And I love how she plays with color here. And the bull. It's just so inspiring, the color play. She made prints on pillows. Her atelier is called Atelier Pia. That's how it looks here when the weather is nice, by the way. This is the mascot of the region. It's an alpine ibex, and look how beautiful she painted it. They have so much character, those animals. It's so nice. I wish I could just take all those paintings with me. And these are works in progress. And the sheep. Don't we all love the sheep? And she also does advertisement Her art, I think that one is really nice. It's polybeer with that beautiful bear holding it. At the end, she just gave me this. She said, for the channel, because I'm knitting, crocheting and spinning. So she gave me her sheep print. It's not the original painting, it's a print, but still, it's so nice of her. I will hang it here. Let's see how that looks. Can you see this? This is where it's gonna be. Never mind this. This I made when I was about 25. It's a self-portrait from art class. We had to paint ourselves from the mirror. That's why it looks like this. My kids say it looks kind of scary, kind of like I would start laughing. This one is from my professor and good friend, our professor. It's a photograph of one of his paintings. I love his artwork. I talk about him another time. However, this one needs to go on the wall now. I mean, I'm not just knitting with sheep wool. I also love alpaca, camel, yak, silk lately. I think it's good. It will be more in the shot later when the shelf is ready. My first channel painting. So happy. Yeah, I spin and knit all these other animals. It looked like she's just doing local animals. But if she ever would paint camel, yak, vicuña, musk ox, cashmere goats, Angora bunnies, anything with fiber, I would buy those prints and just keep adding. Yeah. What is really important is that you should never pick lichen from trees. You should just collect the lichen from the forest floor. It's wet and cold, but I'm so into this, I don't even feel the cold. I show you some mountains when they come from behind the clouds. Right now, everything is gray and wet and cold. For a summer day, I mean, I wish I would have a wool hat and my wool arm warmers with me. But look at the lichen laying around the floor. It's just branches that fall off during a storm, and I can just pick it off the floor. Here would be beautiful lichen, but I don't think you should pick it off the trees. Look at this color of that yellow-green lichen with that dark bark. This looks so pretty. This one we call Flügelpilz. Don't eat that one. In Switzerland there are actually over 1,800 species of lichen. They look so dreamy and fairy tale-y. I mean, look at this tree here. This one is interesting. It has a green circle around it. Water that comes from glaciers is very milky. It's called glacier milk, glacier milk. Yeah, when I was a little kid, that glacier was much bigger than now. Now it's barely there. It's really tragic. Behind me is the remains of what to be a really beautiful glacier, glacier. The white little spot up there by the mountain is the glacier. And when I was a kid, which was, I mean, I'm not that old, but it was a while ago. But still, you can see where the trees stopped growing down there in the middle. That's where the glacier was when I was a kid. Here you can see the moraine that was the side glacier coming from the left. When I was a kid, that came all the way down. Now it's gone. Just a pile of rocks there. Still beautiful. You can walk back there. There is a hut around the corner very high up and you can sleep up there. But today is too late to go there because I was looking for lichen. But maybe another time I can show you how it looks up there. It is still very beautiful, but really tragic how little that glacier is now. I'm separating and drying and picking my lichen I collected in the forest. There are so many different species. I don't even know if I should separate them all. I thought I'd just do a general separation and not a tedious separation. Old man's beard looking ones, and then more those type ones. But even in those piles are so many different species. Like this one is something completely different. Lichen can actually dye all kinds of color, the whole rainbow. You can make purple dye from lichen even. If you ferment it and keep it for like 3 months or half a year in a jar and shake it daily. I'm not sure if I will try that yet because I'm not around every day to shake it. But I will, before I do my dyeing, I will definitely look how to get different colors. And if you already have a tip for that, please comment below. That will be interesting for everybody that wants to experiment dyeing with lichen. The other pile of lichen I had 2 little piles, one with a really intense green and one that looked a little different than this. It looked more like a sage green, but they were just little piles. I couldn't find a lot of that species. I put it in a jar for sun dyeing, which will be another video coming up in a few weeks because I think they have to sit in the sun for a while. I filled 9 jars with different plants and wool and silk. And if you're interested, check back to see that. Yeah. Look at the sheep. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check out another video, that's where it is. Subscribe, like, and I see you soon. Thank you very much.